What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we're going to be talking about how this team has built something special, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a team that's been flying under the radar this season, but while they've been flying under the radar, they've been playing some really great basketball, and especially since the start of January, since the start of the new year, the Timberwolves have been on fire. They have a record of 22-11, and when I look at this team statistically, they are a really great all-around team. Offensively, they get it done everywhere. And in NBA advanced stats, they lead the league in points per game at 114. They lead the league in three-pointers made and three-pointers taken. They make 15 threes per game on 41 attempts. And then they also are good at sharing the balls. They rank 7th in the league in assists, and they're getting 25 of those a game. And they're not just getting it done offensively, but on the defensive side of the ball, they're 3rd in the league when it comes to blocks, and they're getting 6 blocks per game. And then they're 4th in the league in steals, and they're getting 9 of those per game. And to sum up all those stats, the Minnesota Timberwolves come in at 7th when it comes to offensive rating, and they come in 11th when it comes to defensive rating. So this is a really well-balanced team that can play solid basketball on both sides of the court. And when I look at this Minnesota team and how they're becoming so special, is that it starts with their big three. It starts with KarlAnthony Thomas, D'Angelo Russell, and Anthony Edwards. Those guys have been playing really solid basketball, especially since the start of January. And I think it starts with KarlAnthony Thomas, who's been really impressive this year. And we just got to give KarlAnthony Thomas props, because for a young man in the NBA, he's been through a lot already. He's lost so many of his family members and his mom from COVID. And then also he's had teammate issues. We all know what happened with Jimmy Butler. And for him to be having the season that he's having so far this season, it just shows that how strong he is mentally and how motivated he is. Because he's having a really great season for the Timberwolves. He's averaging 24 points a game and 10 rebounds while shooting around 40% from three as a center. And then he also won the three-point contest this season. So it's been a great season for Cat, and his skill set off the charts. And, you know, he's just a guy that can do everything on the offensive side of the ball. He can shoot the three, he can shoot the mid-range, but where I think he does the most damage at is in the post. He's a great player with his back to the basket, and he's definitely a top 3, top 4 center in the NBA today. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Cat this season, and this Minnesota Timberwolves team is going to go as far as KarlAnthony Thomas can take them. And then you look at the guy running the show for the Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell. He's a guy who, just like KarlAnthony Thomas, who's been an all-star before, and also he has some playoff experience, which is going to cater well to the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they are a fairly young team, and they have a lot of young guys on this team, so that playoff experience is going to help them with that. But D'Angelo Russell is having a very quiet but a very solid season for the Timberwolves. He's averaging 19 points per game and 7 assists, and like I said, D'Angelo Russell, very underrated. He's one of the better point guards in this league, and he's very young. He's just now entering his prime, and I could definitely see him making more all-star games in the future as he gets more and more healthier. But he's a guy that just runs the show for the Timberwolves, get the guys involved, and then he scored a ball when he has to. And he's a guy that can shoot from deep. He has deep three-point range. He has the mid-range, and then I think where he does a lot of damage and where he's underrated at is his craftiness. He can get to the rim. He has a nice floater, and he can finish at the rim with both hands. And D'Angelo Russell, he's done a great job of running the show for the Minnesota Timberwolves this season. And then you look at a guy like Anthony Edwards, 2020 first overall pick, and he's been nothing short of spectacular since he's come into the NBA. He showed flashes of his potential last season, and now this season he's starting to build on it. And what's scary about Ant-Man Edwards is that he's averaging 21 points per game, but he's nowhere near as efficient as he's capable of being. He's shooting like 43% from the field and then 34% from three. So just imagine, and that's normal for a young player. He's still getting accustomed to the NBA, but just imagine in a year or two when he starts taking better shots and he starts getting his shot to fall more, how many points he's going to average when he's doing it efficiently. Because I think it's pretty impressive that he's averaging 21 points per game without shooting the ball very efficiently. And his game, probably in the future, probably going to be one of the most box office players in the NBA because he's just very exciting. He can handle the ball, and then we all know what he can do when he gets downhill and he gets that momentum. It could be a very highlight, and he could end somebody's career. But he's also a guy who's made a lot of progress since he's come into the NBA, because one of his draft knocks was his ability to be able to shoot the three ball consistently. And I wouldn't say he's at where he's want to be, but he's a way better 3-point shooter than he was when he was coming into the NBA. And that's just a great sign when you see players coming into the league and they're developing their game. So I think with this big three, the Minnesota Timberwolves got something special brewing with those three guys, because all three are relatively young. Cat and D'Lo are just now entering their primes, and then Anthony Edwards is a young stud. And then this team doesn't just stop there. They have a couple of solid role players on this team as well, and those two guys are Patrick Beverley and Malik Beasley. And Pat Bev, he's one of those guys love to have on your team, but you hate to play against him because he's just that annoying pest on the defensive side of the ball that's going to face guard you, that's going to smother you all game long. And while he's doing that, he's going to be yapping. So he just knows how to get under players' skins, and you love to have that guy on your team. And he's also another player that just plays great he's just a 3-and-D player in the point guard's body. He plays great defense, and he knocks down the tray ball. And then Malik Beasley, I think he's the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think he's their X factor, because he's a guy that has he can do so much with the basketball with his 3-point shooting, and he can open up so many things. The other night, he tied a franchise record for 11 threes made in a game, and that's just the type of shooting prowess that he possessed. And whenever Malik Beasley, whenever he's on and he has that 3-point shot going, it's going to open up so much for guys like Anthony Edwards and KarlAnthony Thomas whenever those guys are out there on the court together. And it's just really impressive what he can do, man. So I think Malik Beasley, he's been a great role player for the Minnesota Timberwolves this season. He's averaging 13 points per game, and I think he's also for his standards, he's not shooting the ball to the best of his ability. And I think as the season progresses, I think we can see his three ball get a little bit more accurate. So that's that. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have a big three that's developing. They have some solid role players, and also remember I told you guys this is a very young team, so they have young developing talent. They have guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniel, Jalen Noel, Naz Reid. All those guys have been playing that intricate part for the Timberwolves this season, and we just watching them get better and better with every game. And I really love Naz Reid. I love the energy he brings to the game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. He's averaging almost 1 block per game, and it's pretty impressive because he's not getting that many minutes to average more. But when he's out there, he's playing hard, and he's playing some really solid defense. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, like I said, they have something special built, and I definitely see them making the playoffs this year. But looking at this team down the line in the future, I think they're going to be able to make some serious noise in this loaded Western Conference, because KarlAnthony Thomas, I can see him getting better than what he is right now. D'Angelo Russell, people forget that he's coming off injury, so I feel like he's not the best that he could be right now. And then Anthony Edwards, he's a guy that's filled with potential, superstar potential, and it's seeming like he's on that route. And then you have the role players in Pat Bev, Malik Beasley, and then you have these young guys that's developing right before the Minnesota Timberwolves' eyes. So this front office has done a great job at developing this squad. And that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below your favorite Minnesota Timberwolves player, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.